Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Evolution Show. Grab a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and let's catch up. So, thanks again for joining us for another week of The Evolution Show. My name is Juliana Stevens. I'm the owner of the Evolution Store in New York, and this is my husband, Michael.
Hello.
And we have had so much fun doing these episodes recently, especially since we've started pre-recording them. And I have to say, we spent way too much time getting ready for this episode because we are so excited because it's going to be Halloween coming up soon. As you can see, we have started to spookify our home.
We're trying. We got a pumpkin here.
Yeah, we're getting into the spirit
I don't know
of
if you
things.
can tell, but we got one of these funny corn things. It's cool.
So we are nerding out hardcore right now. This is our absolute favorite holiday for obvious reasons. And I think, it's a lot of people like Christmas, obviously, and Christmas is fun too, but it's such a busy season for us that I think we don't usually get to enjoy it as much as maybe some other people because obviously being in retail, Christmas is everything. And so we're always super busy that part of the holiday kind of flies by. So for me, Halloween is kind of the last time we have to really get together and have fun before sort of like the craziness starts. So it's kind of like our big family holiday.
Yeah. And also, it's the most fun holiday. It's the nerdiest holiday.
Hands down.
Right? And, all of this stuff that you do every year, all of a sudden is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just rewatched. We've been rewatching lots of.
We're trying to figure out what
movies.
should be our Halloween movie
Canon.
playlist. Yeah. So we figure out a few because we wanted to also share with Dexter. And what should.
So we were just rewatching the Addams Family.
Yeah,
and
so that one's a good one.
We identified very much like now as
oh
adults
my God,
with
if you watch it as a kid,
parents.
you should definitely watch it again. Yeah, like having a little kid in school and stuff.
Yeah, and just kind of like feeling a little different, from the rest of your neighbors.
Labyrinth.
Yeah, we watched Labyrinth. That one was really fun.
What else? We want to add. What was the name of that Plum one?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors.
That one's fun.
We are waiting for Dexter to be a little bit older for us to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's one of our favorite movies.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out if it is too scary or not scary enough to watch Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, Beetlejuice is another one that's obviously a classic.
Evil Dead.
We watched Evil Dead ourselves.
1 and 2. Yeah, but I think that's too much for him.
It was very scary.
I
had
think
not watched
it's a funny movie, but I think it's a comedy. We're debating whether it's
a horror movie or a comedy.
Yeah, a horror movie first or a comedy first, I guess.
It's both, but it's pretty scary. Yeah. I don't even like scary movies that much. I wish I did. I think they're fun and stuff, but I just get too scared. I'm just I guess a baby when it comes to that sort of thing. I'm into it, but I can't really handle it. So anyway, we got really excited preparing this episode for you guys today because we're going to talk about one of our spookier and creepier product lines that we have in the store, which come from one artist in particular that we're going to talk about today. And we wanted to also just more generally talk about the fact that we do work with lots of different artists. A lot of our vendors are manufacturers or who, people who commercial paleontologists, people who work in mineral mines and stuff like that. So people who work with natural history products, but then also another side of our business is that we work with artists and creators and makers and really creative people. So we wanted to take the opportunity, especially with Halloween, people get so creative and it's so fun to see the things that people come up with that we thought it was a perfect time to highlight one of our creative partners and vendors that we work with and encourage people, if you guys know of any artists that you follow and enjoy who do commercial art. We don't really sell fine art. We don't really sell like one-of-a-kind paintings or sculptures or anything like that. We work mostly with people who do replicatable,
Yeah.
products, something that you could buy in wholesale quantities. But if you know anybody, there are so many. Obviously, jewelry is a big thing. We work with a lot of different jewelry artists, but there are lots of different types of artists that we would love to work with. So if you know of anybody, please send them our way. If you are a commercial artist,
Well, tag
send
them
us.
in the comments, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would love to see it. Or if you do it yourself,
Yeah.
That's the other thing too, is that, well, some of these guys make the art from scratch, right? Like the artist that we're going to talk about today. But sometimes just taking a picture with some of these things, composing a shot and whatnot,
Yeah.
can be quite spooky or different. So
And people also use our products in their art. So
yeah,
we've worked
yeah.
with people who come to us to buy. There was one guy, I think it was on Instagram, that he tagged us, who used one of our taxidermy. It was either a mouse or a rat in a composition that he had made.
Yeah.
It became a part of his art. So that was really cool. So if you use any of our products in your art, please let us know. We would love to see that as well. Definitely leave us a comment or tag us on Facebook or Instagram. We would love to see it. So anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce you to one of our most long-standing artist partners who creates this product. I'm going to introduce you today to John Weisgerber. He is a fantastic artist, super talented, and he makes a really interesting line of what he calls sideshow replicas. So
Is that what he calls it?
yeah, so he calls them sideshow replicas. So this is a sculpture, and it is of what is called a Feejee mermaid. So you may be familiar with P.T. Barnum, the guy who did the like circus sideshows and stuff like that back
How
in the
big
day.
was it? I mean, I heard the story, right? That P.T. Barnum was like a freak show, sideshow. But is that the case? I mean, I don't know.
It was a circus, right? So he's
Was it a big circus?
Yeah, Barnum and Bailey Circus is now today like the biggest circus,
Really?
group or whatever.
I have to make a confession. You've
never been to the circus?
I never been to the circus.
Oh no, we have to rectify this. That's crazy.
I don't think I ever been to a circus.
Yeah.
No.
So normally when you go to a circus, there's like clowns and acrobats and stuff like that, and there's like the fun sort of family friendly stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's also, especially back in the day, I don't think they do that necessarily as much nowadays, but back when these things started, there was, in order to draw people in, they wanted to showcase things that were really shocking and things that would draw people from all around.
I mean, wasn't there one in Coney Island? Which I think they're still there.
They still have an exhibit there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there, but
I don't know if it was historically there or if it just was kind of put there. I'm not sure.
There,
we'd have to look into it. But in any case, so P.T. Barnum, he was known as someone who would go to any lengths to put on a show. That was his thing. And so, and one of those, he really would not let the boundaries of reality necessarily constrain him.
Yeah.
And so he would frequently fabricate items to put into his sideshow. To draw people in.
I thought the story is that he didn't know.
No,
Right? I thought the story is that he went to Asia. Because when was the circus? When was he first around? Like in the early 1900s?
I think it's like maybe late 18. I'm not
late
sure.
18, like in the turn of the
century,
20th
maybe,
century.
Yeah.
So I thought the story is that he went to Asia and. I don't know. Is that completely BS that I'm remembering? That he went to Asia and they were like, the Japanese were extremely good at taxidermy or something, and then they sew a fish and a monkey together, and then they thought that was a real thing, and he brought it back. Like, that's the story I heard. I mean, completely BS?
I'm not sure. I thought that he himself, I mean, I'm sure he didn't himself do the taxidermy, but he commissioned basically a monkey to be sewed onto a fish and passed it off to people as
kind of fish,
a mermaid.
Is that a eel?
I don't know.
No, that's not a eel because it got like a
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know what kind of fish?
I
thought you did the research.
Fish. I did a little research. I don't know everything about it. But what I can tell you...
Well, if you know what kind of fish,
yeah.
help us out.
I can tell you...
What about the monkey? I heard it was
I don't know.
Like a capuchin or something.
I don't know.
Oh
I don't know what kind of monkey it was. I'm sure nobody really knows. I'm sure he made a lot of efforts to make sure that the origins of his creation were a secret. That's kind of the whole point.
I mean, I imagine if you look at it, maybe if you know a lot about monkeys, you will know what it is.
Well, this is John Weisgerber's recreation of the Feejee mermaid. And apparently this is the object that really inspired him to start to go into art and to go into this business. When he was a kid, he visited a sideshow, and obviously I don't know if it was a real sort of antique one that he saw or some kind of modern replica, but the idea basically of the Feejee mermaid when he was a kid was the thing that prompted him to really want to be able to go into this business of recreating these sideshow replicas. And so this is where everything began for him, essentially. And so he does all of his own resin work. He uses very little machinery. It's basically all done by hand. It's made out of resin. It has this really cool sort of like powdery finish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how he does it, but it makes it feel like a real authentic antique.
Yeah, it doesn't at all feel like resin. If you touch it, it doesn't at all feel like resin. It almost feels like clay. I'm not sure how he finishes the top of the item. But...
And he has a background also apparently in like prop making for movies and television and stuff. He also apparently worked at Bone Clones, which is one of the one of the people that we work with also, which we could also talk about in another episode. Yeah, we have to feature
them at another episode. They have some cool stuff. Although they're not that much artists, I don't think. I mean,
that's up for debate. I mean, it's really beautiful pieces of work.
That's true.
But they are more geared towards museum quality replicas of actual accurate specimens. This is sort of taking that to a whole another in a different direction. But so this is the Feejee mermaid, and also it's signed by the artist on the bottom, if you can see that.
Careful.
So that's nice too. So this is really a collector's piece. So signed and dated. The next item from him, I just want to move along.
Do you remember when we met him on Comic-Con?
Yeah, so he does.
He was like all dressed up.
Yeah, he does the convention circuit, and obviously a lot of that is on hold right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does a lot of different types of like horror conventions.
Am I remembering wrong once that we all went? I mean, I might be remembering this, that we all went to the.
You're thinking of someone else.
Already?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about? What was
the parade?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's someone else.
That's someone else. Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought it was him.
That's Jean-Marc LaRoche.
Oh, well, that's another artist.
Yeah, that's another artist whose stuff is really cool. We could talk about some other time.
Well, to be fair, it was like 10, 15 years ago.
And everyone was in full makeup, so.
Sure.
Anyway, so the second item I wanted to talk to you about that's part of his collection is Shrunken Head. Which I think they're great. Look at that. So it's kind of like a bobblehead. Or you can either put it on the stand for display, or it comes with a little loop so you can hook it onto something.
I wonder what else you can do with this.
Yeah, absolutely. There could be other decorative opportodities for items such as these in the near future.
What is it made out of?
It's resin as well.
Okay.
So he works pretty much exclusively in resin, and they're all hand finished. And he uses this really cool powdery finish for them, and which makes it look very, very unique. Definitely very unique, and it really has that hand finished quality to it. And then I did a little research on Shrunken Heads specifically. So Shrunken Heads, do you know how you make an actual shrunken head?
How you make it?
Yeah, like a real human shrunken head.
How I would make it?
How would you make a real shrunken head?
I would pickle it.
You would pickle it?
I would take the shrunken head, hollow it out, right? like take the skin out and then put it on top of like a coconut. Look at that. Am I reverse engineering this? No.
So what they would do is they would make a slit up the back of the head.
Okay.
To remove the skull.
Okay, I was
Step one.
At least to that point.
It didn't even occur to me that you would have to remove the skull, but obviously that makes sense.
Okay, it occurred to me.
So you remove the skull, then they would take the skin, they would boil it. Then after it was boiled, like it was softened or whatever, they would sew up the back again.
Yeah.
And they would fill it with hot rocks and hot sand, which would cause the skin to shrivel.
Yeah.
And contract. And that's how you have a shrunken head.
Oh.
DIY, in case
you
ever,
you ever
have a really
do you
good
know,
head.
I think this thing I do know, like, why did they carry around shrunken heads?
Yeah, so they would, I think, so this was, from what I understand, it was a tribe in Peru, in the Amazon. And what they would do is they would cut off the heads of their enemies vanquished in battle.
Yeah.
And they did that because they felt that the soul resided in the head, and that whoever had the head of the person would have been protected from revenge from that person from the afterlife.
I thought it was to borrow strength as well.
I think there's probably a lot of different reasons.
And I think that they carried this stuff around.
Yeah, they would
in war afterwards. Like they would shrink the heads and carry them as totems.
Yes.
In war.
Yes, yeah. But it was supposed to protect you from retribution from the person's soul, because you controlled it. And that's the other reason why they would sew the lips and the eyes too sometimes, to prevent the soul from escaping. So you would hold on to it.
That's pretty cool.
So that's pretty cool. And
It's
again,
really cool
and they wouldn't cut the hair too. The hair was very important because they also felt that there was a lot of, energy or soul or something with power resided in the hair. So this is a very accurate shrunken head replica. Like I said, it has the sewn lips, it has the long hair, and it has this versatility that you can, display it in a couple of different ways. So this is really a very, very popular item with us.
Okay.
All right, and the last item is really just for fun. So this is another thing that John Weisgerber makes, which is different brain soaps. So these are just kind of like novelty gifts. They're just for fun. You can see they come in 3 different colors: pink, purple, and green.
They smell different.
They do smell different. They're different.
This is lime?
No.
Okay. This one is lavender.
There you go.
Okay. And this
You'll
one...
never guess that one.
Bubble gum.
No.
What is that?
No, apparently it's fig, lavender, and eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus.
So very fancy
like
scents.
Like the tree?
Mm-hmm. And they smell really nice. It's not an overpowering scent, which is nice.
It's nice.
Some soaps, especially like some handmade, specialty soaps, they can have a lot of dyes, a lot of perfume.
Yeah.
I think this is probably not too extreme in that sense. And they're really well detailed. I mean, you can take a look. They're like, it's just such a cool little mold,
Yeah.
It even has the cerebellum in the back, which is a little different from the sort of regular folds of the brain. And I just like it because it's just a cute, if you're gonna have some fun soap for Halloween.
Yeah, and if
you're gonna have guests over.
Or if you're into medicine, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. It's a great little gift for anyone who's in the medical field. It's an easy way to sort of add a little bit of fun to your Halloween decorations. If you're having a party, it's a great host or hostess gift for someone, that you're visiting. I think they're just really cool. Personally, the pink one is the most popular.
I believe
because it looks the most like
a
brain.
Like a brain, yeah.
But personally, I think the green one is the best. Not only I like the scent the best, I like the eucalyptus. It's very clean smell. It's very refreshing. I like it a lot. And also, it's just more of like a zombie brain. I don't know. I think it's more fun.
It does remind me of a zombie brain, yeah.
So I like it a lot. So we have those 3 items just to show you again. This is only part of the collection that we have of John Weisgerber.
We also have little tiny one, like keychain size.
Yeah, we have smaller shrunken heads. He calls them shrunken heads. Here, put that one back here so I can show. Yeah. Shrunken heads. He also has these very cool fetal skulls, a series of fetal skulls that are cast from real specimens. So he has real fetal skulls. He makes a replica cast of them. Everything is hand painted, hand finished. He's also a local artist. He's based out of New Jersey. So it's always nice when we can support local artists.
We gotta go visit him one day.
Yeah, it would be very
this whole
cool.
Craziness is over.
I'm sure his workshop is
pretty cool.
crazy.
Yeah, there's a few other things from him that I think we're gonna be ordering soon. Try it out.
Yeah, we're gonna be trying some new products of his as well soon. So hopefully, if you can stop by and check those out, we'll have those on display hopefully soon. And also, we're the only person in New York that sells John Weisgerber's stuff. Or in fact, we're almost the only people on the entire East Coast. I think there's like one place in Massachusetts maybe. But it's so nice and important to us to have these kinds of relationships with our artist vendors. We have been doing business with John probably for 20 years. I think that
your dad started it.
Yeah, my dad, the founder, Bill, he has had a relationship with John for as long as I can remember, certainly. And I think it's been a mutually beneficial relationship for both of us. We can't wait to see what he comes up with next. He's definitely got a vivid imagination, as you can see.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a really, we talked a little bit about in the last episode. If you'd like to go back and watch that, we talked about replica skulls that we carry, and we talked a little bit about how we don't want to just have something weird for weird's sake.
Yeah, this is a great example.
And this is a great example of the right way to do weird.
Because it is absolutely weird, but you have to see it in person. That's the other thing. We're the only people in New York. We're in New York City. You can come in and take a look at these things in person.
Absolutely.
They're very detailed. The texture is amazing. It doesn't feel like a resin thing. You would never know.
It's something very unusual.
And it's just so beautifully done. I mean, the amount of effort that he puts on his product is just. I almost feel like there's not a lot of people doing that kind of work anymore.
Yeah, they're real works of art.
Yeah, they are.
It really is. And I like also that they're based in historical context.
Yeah.
So it's not just a weird, gross thing.
Yeah.
It's something based out of history. This is based on, historical specimens, anthropological discoveries, and all of that. Like it has a context
There's a conversation
around it.
behind it, right? Like if somebody comes in your house. You have one of these things, they'll get creeped out first.
And then ask some questions.
And then ask questions why you have it, and then once you tell them why you have it and you tell them the story behind it, they'll be like, oh, so it's like a smart thing. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I love it.
That is not just, and it's just really well done.
Yeah. So thank you, John, if you're watching. Thank you for your partnership.
Yeah.
Over the years.
We have to have you Zoom in the show.
We would maybe someday.
If you're up for it, we would love to talk to you again and talk about the other stuff that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I just want to wrap things up by reminding everyone that if you or someone you know makes commercial art, either similar to this or different than this, but that you think that might be a good fit for us, please Share it in the comments. You can email us at info@theevolutionstore.com. You can tag us on social media. We would love to see other amazing artists, I'm sure, out there that are doing really cool work, and maybe we'll be featuring your work on a future episode.
If it is rooted in science and history, and it's beautifully done like this, we want it.
Absolutely. So I just want to close out the episode by sharing one comment from a previous episode, which I had and then lost. So hold on. I'll find it again. So we had featured, here we go. We had featured a few weeks ago, on a couple episodes ago, we had featured our diaphanized rat specimens, and we got a comment on Instagram asking us how we acquire these rats, and that's always a question that we get about the origins of our products, and it's always a question that we're happy to answer. And so in this case in particular, the rats come from a science supply company. So this is a company that prepares all kinds of scientific specimens for study, for research. They work with universities, they work with high schools, they work with educators and researchers all over the world, and they prepare specimens such as the diaphanized rats. They have lots of other types of specimens for educational purposes, essentially. So that's who we get them from. So we always try and do business with reputable people. We like to know where our things are coming from, and we always appreciate the opportunity to share with people the background on all of our products. So thank you to Kimberly Bernodas, I think, for the question on Instagram. And feel free, if you have any questions about any of our products, to let us know on social media. We would be happy to get back to you on that. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining us again. It's always fun chatting with you. We always have fun catching up, having a little cup of tea and chilling.
Taking a break from the crazy.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun preparing this episode, so hopefully you had a lot of fun watching it, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.